Hola, 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 vale. Hola, hola, vale. Esto va a ser un directo cortito, ¿vale? De hecho, se me va a escuchar comer. Uy, qué rápido está cargando, ¿no? No, chicos, yo quiero pensar que para las 7 de la mañana yo ya estoy en mi cama, ¿no?
Should mind my step.
¿Habrá alguien aquí? Vale, no llevo... Tampoco como que yo tenía una extrema armor class, la verdad. Ya en ese aspecto no he sido mejor.
There you are. Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you could make a dramatic entrance, is it? Starting to wonder if you'd show up. Honestly? So have I. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever. You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Más consistente que antes, más...
I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Truly. I had no doubt. But I'm glad to hear you say it all the same. Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister. One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long. We had tea on his balcony. Tara even deigned to sit on my lap for a while. You know, I think entire forests must have been felled to quench that man's thirst for books. He seems to be doing well. in his element. I don't know. Which is just the way I like it just now. Perhaps I'll just stick a
So?
pin in a map and see what I find, or head to the docks in the morning and scrounge a berth to find somewhere new. I'd like to see the islands, maybe, or head south to Arm. I heard there's an enclave of werecats that hunt the followers of dark gods by moonlight. I'd love to see if there's any truth to that. But enough about me. What have you been up to? Don't be a stranger.
¿Qué has estado haciendo tú? Uy. Mira todo lo que tiene. Esta señora no es moco de pavo. Esta señora se ha quedado sexual. A ver, deja ver si hay alguna línea.
Just what I need.
I've missed wine. Had to resort to making my own cider recently, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong. But a girl can't have fun with apples alone. Oh, twist my arm and break it, why don't you?
¿Eso qué significa? Que sí. ¿Ah?
That hit the spot. You might be onto something there, though the name might need work. Somehow it sounds... Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. Qué clásico, ¿eh?
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Oh, terribly sorry, but you mistake me, my friend. I'm only Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft. Ah, your success really has been wonderful. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Commander Zula won't know where the fuck we went. Ha! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months. Here, here. Enjoy it, soldier. You've earned it. She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle back off to hell quick as you please. You don't need to ask, soldier.
Qué buen rollo es esta señora. ¿Por qué se le ponen los ojos medio azules? Un abrazo un poco raro, pero bueno. No, porque en general se ha puesto azul. Ay, Dimitri.
Oh, hey. before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. An old acquaintance called Flo. We might get to... It's so good to be back, isn't it? It smells so good here!
You see, Boo? I told you our friend was near.
Oh, I can eat a beholder. What's cooking?
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our old friend. Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, you will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the dusty one to open. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly. So Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of... We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? She told Minsk and Boo to behave themselves, but leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? Oh, Boo, do you know what it would mean? Exactly! Her heart would be cured! Oh, in this... There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow...
Why is the night...
There you are. I was hoping you'd make your way over. Good song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
Rank. I'd take wrath over this any day.
Halsing. Tuyo por siempre.
A beautiful night. I wish it could last forever.
harvest and pluck wine from all over the world. But is there one bottle of
bueno.
fresh blood?
Ahí no.
It's just so goddamn beautiful here.
Damon.
So you made it! Now it really is a party.
One so fleshly support withers his well versed in repairing a beauty.
Esperanza.
No, you,
Día para siempre nocturno,
No.
esto podemos encontrarnos. Quería corazón sombrío, este se lo puedo registrar. Ah, espero que estés bien. Maidina, no jodas.
This seems pretty red, but no, not even close.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I need it.
no more Amnian cheeses for you.
El olor. Qué bueno.
Good song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
Well, I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his... And look at you. Straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun. Understandable, but try to resist the urge. I don't want to know what your clothes have been through since we last... Although I do like the style. Tortured armor never does go out of fashion. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it. Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been. Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time... You know, it's funny. At first, but in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long... I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done. This is who I am. In all my glory, for better and for worse. That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. But until then, we've had quite the journey. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. I will miss our time together. But then again, see you later, darling.
nice little spot, isn't it?
Quite as nice as the sitting room, but sure.
I didn't realize you were such a homebody, Tara.
Fuerza 23.
The Hell's Walker returns. For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strain, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Qué bonito.
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the Astral, but still we need allies. Zerith Minyaragith. Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky. Algish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge.
No.
Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. And if he refuses, I carry on. I am the Comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlaakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Okay.
This is... no.
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Amiga de gay.
You helped Mr. Dakarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right? That doesn't sound like him. But whichever way you want, you ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them. Ta-ta.
Well, well. Professor Gale Dakarios of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Aquí. Ven aquí. ¿Qué tal, chaval?
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just... I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of Mistra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. 2, I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Ah, it was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your teaching you was hardly an effort at all. Not like my Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay...
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of... I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Well, I, for one, can't wait. And of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my... My apologies, Tara. It will give us plenty of time to catch up. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would... So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix... I can't believe this is real. It's quite...
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. Ah, how nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupid. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize, though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again. Ah, yes. Forgive me. There wasn't much time to offer hospitality. They ask about you, of course. But, there is still much to do. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family... For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. The same might be said for all of us, I'd wager. But so long as our paths have... Now, before this night, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have...
You know, I never really imagined Withers as much of a party thrower. But then again, I suppose our camps weren't taking care of themselves while we were out gallivanting, were they? There's hidden depths in that love of... Indeed. Healing can only do so much. We'd likely be dead somewhere out in the wilderness. Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. I find it hard to summon up the trademark. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little. I owe him a favor. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another. Perhaps I've not sufficiently explained my... Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess how many I get now?
Musical prayers were once offered to Melil, Lord of Song, a minor deity whose worship faded after offending the trickster god Cyric.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid. You know? Finally! The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for? Fantastical news.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
Vale.
To you.
Ahí está. Bienvenidos a un infierno por aquí. Uf.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
¿Qué cojones es mustio, tío? ahora? Si voy a continuar, ¿qué pasa? ¿Empiezo desde aquí y vuelvo a recrearla esta o qué?
This one night is like any other, and yet thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate.
Pues ya estaría. Pues nada, gentecilla. Muchas gracias por estar aquí y nos vemos.